Well guys, we made it here to our 11th stop on our 6-month camping trip, and there's some guys painting some posts, and we're officially on our way from my family's place in West Virginia to Christy's family in Iowa. And guess where we are? You guessed it, Ohio. It really, there's people walking, but it really seems like we weren't in West Virginia very long, and I think that's really because we weren't. We were only there for, I don't know, a week or so, but one of those weekends, as you guys remember from last week, we were at a wedding. We were at my niece's wedding in Maryland, so that took us out of West Virginia for a few days. And we're finally getting over something that we may have picked up at the wedding. I think we're both pretty much back to ship shape. Anyway, Christy said she didn't want to come today. Are you guys surprised? As you guys posted on the video where we reviewed that scooter that's back in the back seat, when we got to Mom's, we had some chores to do, and one of those chores was using those paint cans that you saw in that video to help Mom paint the porch. Well, anyway, like I said, we're at a state park, so I can't fly the drone here. That's actually one of the rules that's listed in their pamphlet. But I'm passing the office right now, so I'm going to pull in here just real quick and see if we can maybe grease some wheels and see if we can get permission to fly here. I don't think it's going to happen because from what I've heard on the comments from the last video that we did where we were at a state park and flew the drone, people were saying that Ohio may be a little bit difficult. So let me get in here real quick and see what they say. I think it's going to be a no. Yeah, this is where all the RVs are supposed to come in to check in, and there's one spot right there where an RV might be able to fit in, but the rest of them are full of cars. And look at all of the car spots that are still open. People do what they want. Yep, looks like they're leaving. They aren't open yet. Well, I guess that answers our question because today's our last day here, and I got to get this video recorded today. So unless I get back early, I can maybe get some footage. If they say it's okay, I can get some footage of the park to add as maybe B-roll. That'd be all right. One thing about this park that I noticed that nobody obeys is the speed limit's 10 miles an hour. Ain't nobody goes 10 miles an hour here. And you know how I know? Because the speed limit on the beach that I worked on for several years was 10 miles an hour. I know what 10 miles an hour looks like. Well, we're coming up to the exit here, and I want to get a picture with this sign. Well, we're at the Mosquito Lake State Park in Cortland, Ohio, and surprisingly, I haven't seen that many mosquitoes. Well, here at the Mosquito Lake, they do have several other things that you can look at that won't bite and try to hurt you, but they've got a big old lake. They got a good fishing spot. They've got a boating area. They've got a lot of different trails. I just thought of this. Maybe Mosquito Lake Campground's named after the lake and not the mosquitoes. Guys, I'm telling you what, I'm a genius sometimes. I come up with the best stuff. Well, the campground is a really nice place to camp. Now, the site that we're in is just electric only, so on the way in to the park the other day, we had to fill up our water tank. And I have a question for you guys. We have a 40-gallon water tank.
Turn right on Johnson Plank Road.
We have a 40-gallon water tank in our camper. And when you fill it up, why does it only go to 32 gallons? I have a water meter, and it only shows 32 gallons every time that I fill it up, 32 or 33. And I know that the water meter is right before you guys say anything because I've tested it.
Turn right onto Johnson Plank Road.
Okay! Even though the campground seems like it's pretty much full, I mean, it's been pretty much full since we got here, it's really been quiet. Like, there's been tent campers around, Randy Morgan, but they've been able to maintain their composure and keep things quiet. I think more families are here than people that just want to get loud and rowdy. Well, getting back to the 40-gallon freshwater tank that we have, we're only here for a few days, so I don't think we need more water than that, but we did go to Walmart and we bought a water bottle or a water jug. That way, if we needed to get more water, we had a way to get it into the camper. We're always thinking, guys, always thinking. We've been busy with like extracurriculars since we got here, so we haven't really had much of a chance to scope the park out. But from what I've seen so far, I've really liked it. It's a really nice place to camp. And it's only $45 a night. Do you guys think that's a good deal for electricity only? One thing I want to do before we get to where we're going to fly today, I want to give a couple of shout outs, just pretty much to make this video even longer. You're welcome. The day that we got here, I got to meet up with a viewer of ours, Jeff Nozar, and we met up and had lunch at the Wayside Restaurant, and that was a pretty good place to eat. Now, we also went, and of course we had to do what? We had to go fly a drone. Well, guess where we went? We went to a graveyard. That was pretty fun. He let me fly his Neo, and then we flew our Mini 4 Pros at the same time and got some footage there. I'm telling you what, after flying that Neo, I've never even seen a Neo. I was really surprised how small it was. but after flying it, it makes me want one even more. So I need your guys' help. I need you to inundate Christy with comments saying that we need to have a Neo added to the channel, because it would just do nothing but help, right? But I'm gonna tell you this right now. If you drop the fact or the line that I put you up to it, I'm gonna deny it. It'll be my word against yours. Thanks for the help. Well, we also got to meet with a couple of friends of ours, Mike and Heidi. They have a really cool RV channel called RV Daydream. I know a lot of you guys that are watching this for the camping stuff that we're doing right now probably knows who they are, because they've been on YouTube for years. Well, if you guys haven't seen their channel before, I'll leave a link right here so you guys can check them out. Jump over there, show them some love. Just a couple of good old Americans. Well, since Jeff and I came to the graveyard the other day, I felt it only right to come back for this test today, and here we are. Thanks for the idea, Jeff. I don't know if I'll get in trouble here because there is somebody in the office, it looks like, but we're gonna go back over here to where we were at the other day, because there's something back here that I want to use as like a point of interest for this video. I think it'd be perfect. Are you guys still wondering what today's video is about? Well, Jeff and I were parked here the other day, and we kind of used the mausoleum over here as the point of interest, but I want to use that statue over there as a point of interest today. I'm not exactly sure what it is. I haven't been up there to see what it is yet, but I think it's going to be, of course, a grave marker. But I think that'd be a pretty cool thing to use as a point of interest. How do you guys like my new shirt? We got this in Mayberry. I think it's pretty awesome. But look how big this graveyard is, and at every site they've got a flag marking each grave. There's a few that aren't marked, it looks like, but for the most part, there's flags everywhere. I'd say this is probably all family in this whole section here, but what do I know? All right, well, let's get back to the truck, and I'll tell you guys what this video is about, because I haven't done that yet. Now that we're out of West Virginia, I need to put that 01 tag back on there, don't I? Guys, I stepped out there and I feel like I'm getting bit by mosquitoes. Maybe Mosquito Lake State Park should be over here. And the worst part is I don't have any bug spray with me. But the best part is I found some bug spray. Rule number 1 of being a Floridian, never leave home without it. Now, by now, I know that you guys are thinking to yourselves, man, I just wish he'd get on with the point of this video. I'm tired of hearing him talk. All right, so here it is. Basically, I'm going to prove to you guys today, once and for all, how bad of a drone pilot I really am. Now, I know that I kind of do that every week. I make it pretty evident how bad I am. But today, I'm going to drive it home. Doesn't that sound like a lot of fun? There's an airplane. Wow. Let me break in here real quick and show you guys the air data, because we're not in any airspace right now, or controlled airspace. Come on, load up. We aren't in any airspace at all. Anyway, as far as the conditions go, I don't think it could get much better than this. Well, you're probably thinking to yourself, how can Kevin make it even more evident that he's a sucky drone pilot? Well, by copying a video that I watched from Idaho Quadcopter the other day. Now, I know for a fact most of you guys watching our channel watch the Idaho Quadcopter, and you know what a great pilot he is. Now, what he did was, he took his Mini 3 Standard Edition, and he flew quick shots manually. He did a really good job, and that got me thinking, I wonder if I could do that. Well, we all know the answer is no, but I've got a tweak that may help me out here, and it may seem like cheating, and it probably is, but I'm going to do it anyway. But Marcus, I want to thank you for the video idea. That's something that I've been wanting to test out for quite a while, but you finally given me the courage to try it. All right, let me get Dwight. I think his battery's probably dead, so let me get his battery changed out. Because me and Jeff, we killed a battery here in the park, or in the graveyard the other day with the Mini 4 Pros. We went from 100% all the way down to like 20% on each of our batteries. That was pretty fun. We had a good day, didn't we, Jeff? Labels up. Boom. I think the controller is still charged up. Yeah, controller's still charged up. I got 3 lights. I got to get my landing pad out of here too. But you know what I thought was really strange? You know Jeff Nozar doesn't name his drones. I mean, come on, Jeff, get with it. All right, we got our landing pad placed, and it looks like somebody might be coming up the road. I'm not sure if they're coming to me. All right, guys, we're going to be delayed by hopefully just a few minutes. The lady just walked into the mausoleum, so I'm going to give her some time to do what she needs to do, and I'm not going to disturb her. Maybe while I wait, I need to respond to some YouTube comments. Sorry, guys, I know I've been kind of slack on that for the past week or so, but it's been busy. All right, she's making her way back to the truck now, so fingers crossed we'll be able to get this test done soon. Once she passes, I'm going to get Dwight turned on. Actually, I can get Dwight turned on now inside the truck, right? Let me do that. Right. Oops, I got to turn the controller on. See, I almost forgot, guys. Oh, and again, antennas, dummy. And oops, I'm pushing buttons here. All of a sudden, I feel like I got a little bit nervous. Isn't that weird? I'm pushing another button. All right, let me turn Dwight on here. She's making her circle around to get out of here. All right. Calm down, Kevin. Everything's going to be okay. All right, we got Dwight turned on. He's moved his gimbal a little bit, and she did not wave whenever I waved at her. So I'm gonna get a screen recording going, and then I'm gonna put Dwight out on the I'm gonna put Dwight out on the back of the truck so he can get the satellites. There we go. Screen recording's up. Does this place look familiar or what, Dwight? I know that looks familiar to you. So let me just put you down right here so you can get your satellites. Oh, we're already up to 10 satellites. He should be getting his home point updated soon. Come on, Martha. Where you at? Martha. Martha, wake up. I get to do this test while sitting in the truck today, guys. All right, so what am I going to do? Well, that's different than what Marcus did. Well, what I'm going to do, home point's been updated. What I'm going to do is with these quick shots that I'm going to replicate, I'm going to use, what is it called? Not active track, but the other one. Focus something. Here, let me click on it so I get the right word. Aircraft's not in use, so I can't use focus track. Oh, spotlight mode. I'm going to use spotlight mode to keep that statue within sight, or as the point of interest. And then I'm going to just duplicate, instead of having to duplicate the camera roll, or whatever they call that, the pitch of the camera, all I got to do is worry about the sticks. And the spotlight's going to keep that in the middle of the screen for me for all these shots. Now, for those of you who don't know where the quick shots are, or what they even are, they are located under these three dots here. No, they're not. They're located, you hit that button there, and you scroll down from video and pictures down to quick shots. Now, you can't enter the quick shot mode until the drone is up in the air. So let me do this. Let me get Dwight started, and we'll get his home point all laid out. And there we go. We're just going to go up 22 feet or 23 feet just to get his home point acclimated. And he's right now looking at the subject that he's going to be recording today. So anyway, quick shots are pretty much computerized generated shots that all you got to do is just sit back and let the drone do it. So if you go over here to that little button there, hit quick shots. And guys, I know I don't have the technical terms down, but who cares? You're not here for that. You're here to see how bad of a pilot I am, right? Well, see on the left here, we've got listed, we've got droney, rocket, circle, helix, boomerang, and then asteroid is something that you definitely can't do manually. That's something that the controller has to generate. But if you go up here to rocket, or go up here to the droney, it shows you what the droney is on the left side there. See those people are waving at the camera? That's what a droney is. The drone will automatically fly itself back and up and keep the subject in the middle of the screen. So, yeah, the computer, I'm just thinking here, if I use spotlight mode, am I really cheating? Because the computer uses spotlight mode to keep, or the controller keeps us in spotlight mode whenever it's using us as the point of interest for these shots. So I'm not really cheating, I don't think. Anyway, let's do this. Let me shrink that down and fly up here to this statue. And we're going to start with just a simple droney, because the droney is actually something that I'm pretty decent with. Oh, and one tip that Marcus gave us all is to make sure that you go over to cine mode, because if you're in normal mode, your stick sensitivity is way up and blah blah blah. So anyway, great tip. I'm glad that he mentioned that, because that's something that I always seem to forget to do, just like I forget to pull the antennas out. All right, so I've got the statue here all centered up. There's nothing behind Dwight, and now there's another vehicle coming. I think I could be busted here. So let me see what they need. Good, how are you?
What you checking out?
I'm doing a drone video. I got a YouTube channel, and I'm doing a drone test is all.
What all you plan on doing?
I'm just gonna be here for probably 10-15 minutes, just flying around, basically just making circles and things around the gravesite here. Yeah.
How are you keeping that? You didn't even touch it.
He does it himself. Dude, I'm a horrible drone pilot, and even I can do this. So this is the DJI Mini 4 Pro. And it's under 250 grams, so you don't even have to have it registered with the FAA unless you're commercial like I am.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, if you guys were wanting to look into it, I mean, this is something that you could fly just for fun.
Yeah,
So.
I didn't even notice it until...
Oh yeah?
Yeah, I was like, wait, he's got what I have.
Yeah, he's been sitting there for just a couple of minutes. Matter of fact, I just lifted him off before you guys came up to drive here. So I just, yeah.
That's just amazing.
It is
how
cool.
It's just sitting there.
Yeah. I'll pull it down for you so you guys can get a better look at it. It's a cool hobby to get into. And not all of us are creeps. All right, man. Hey, you guys be careful. Thanks. Appreciate it. It's good to meet you. All right. Well, that was a cool conversation. So let's get back to what we were, whoops, I'm spinning still. Let's get back to what we were doing. This left stick is really sensitive. in the, what is it called? The, I don't even know what mode it is. Now I hear another airplane coming too. So I gotta see, oh, there's a helicopter back there. So let me give him way. I think that what I can do is, let me get the video here. Oh, I guess I could, since I've already shown you guys, I see I'm all confused now. But since I've already shown you guys what these are, or what these quick shots are, I can now go back to video mode and I can start a video recording of our escapades here. All right, so I'm gonna go over here to the spotlight mode. So focus track's enabled. Our drone battery's already down to 72%, so we kind of wasted some battery there, but it's okay. I'll use that as the point of interest. And all I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna start flying back and up with my sticks, and that'll give the droney effect. So back and up, and that is just like Dwight is doing a droney all by himself. But the coolest part about this is we don't have to stop where, you know, the droney would normally stop. If we had it set for like 80 feet, we can just keep on going. Check that out. And it's still going. And that's a pretty cool reveal. Okay, let's get back up to the spot here and we'll do a rocket. All right, we are all set up here. I'm gonna there we go. I'm gonna drag the box across the subject of interest. And all I'm gonna do now is I'm just gonna go straight up on the stick, and I'm gonna go forward a little bit so we end up right over top of the subject. So this is gonna be pretty cool. And I wonder, we do have a problem with the rocket where when you come down, when you're doing a rocket and the drone comes down, the camera will shoot straight up into the air. So I'm gonna do that also and see if the camera shoots straight up in the air after I'm finished with this maneuver. So let's go straight up, and it's pulling the camera down. Uh-oh, the camera didn't go down. Let me do this, let me try this again. I think that, I think I sat there too long, but there, let me hit plus on that and see what happens. So let me go straight up in the air because now it thinks it's following a person. There we go. And now it's got it locked in. I'm gonna push forward on the stick so I can get right over top of it. Nice and slow and controlled. We are 100 feet up in the air, and now we're right over top of it. And I'm gonna stop the forward momentum because it looks like we're perfectly centered. I'm just gonna keep going straight up until I get to about 200 feet so I can get this whole circle into the camera, because that's a pretty cool view. And another thing that you can do, like Marcus was doing, is you can start twisting it or turning it to the right or to the left, and you can have just a different effect, especially once you get that circle in there. All right, twist around. Why is it not twisting around? I'm not able to twist it around in a circle there. That's kind of strange. I wonder why. Oh, you know why? Because it's the spot. That's one. I guess that's one thing that you can't do, is twist it around in a circle. All right, so let's pull him back down here. Let me get the X off, and we'll just come straight back down, and we'll get set up for our circle, because that's the third quick shot. With the circle, I'm gonna go a little bit lower with the box so I can make sure that I get the ground selected instead of behind him. Come on, how come it's not working? There we go. We got the selection there. We got the highlighted area, and all I'm gonna do now is I'm just gonna go left or right, and it's gonna basically just keep the drone in a perfect circle around this statue. So I'm gonna go to the right as fast as I want to, and look how good that is. I can go fast. Oh, let me go back into cine mode. I can go fast. Why did the recording stop? Well, that stinks. Did I ever even start the recording? I must not have started the recording. Well, sorry guys, you're gonna miss that part. Let me go over here to the right here. I think I said here like 3 times. But I've got the stick all the way to the right here, and I said here again. And it is smooth as can be. But that is cool. And all this is just a simple circle. I wonder, well, I can't raise it up because that's gonna be a helix, right? I think whenever you're, the helix is the next thing we're gonna do. And I think that is a change in elevation plus you just continuously do a circle. It's like a spiral. But that is cool. And I can go either direction, left or right. And it looks just as good in both directions. Now, let me try to back up a little bit and see what happens. So I'm going to go backwards a little bit and then do another circle. And I got that whole area there in view. The whole circle, the whole circle drive. Guys, that's pretty cool. You didn't know I could do this, did you? You think I could do this manually? Probably not. All right, we'll finish this circle up real quick, and then we'll we'll do the helix next. Or maybe actually we can probably start the helix right here. So basically what the helix is it's just a circle that goes up in the air and kind of like a spiral, kind of like a corkscrew. So let me start the circle here. And as I'm doing that, I'm just going to hit up on the left stick to raise up an altitude. And I'm going to go fast because it'll make it look pretty cool. It's kind of like a reverse. It's almost like a reverse one though, because I'm not back far enough to get the horizon in the picture. I kind of took the horizon away. But I'm going up in the air and I'm doing a circle. Now guys, do you really honestly think that I could do all of these stick maneuvers by myself without the help of that spotlight mode? There's absolutely no way. All right, so we're 130 feet up in the air. Let me try this. Let me try it backwards where I'm going to the right and I'll come down in altitude. And we'll see if I can get the horizon to come up once I get lower in altitude. So I'm coming down as fast as I can. I don't know why I felt like I had to change directions, but I did. And we're getting down to the 90-foot mark or so. And this is like a reverse corkscrew. So that's even cooler because I got the horizon coming in and everything got closer or got lower. So let me pull forward and make this even better. Check that out, guys. That's cool. That's kind of like a helix, but not really. I guess maybe I just made up a maneuver, didn't I? Probably not. All right, so the last one that I want to do is the boomerang. And guys, I don't think that there's any way or any chance that I'm going to be able to do this. But I'm going to leave the I'm going to turn my phone off because I keep getting texts. There we go. So I'm going to leave the X where it's at. I'm going to back up just a little bit. Now the boomerang, what it is it's basically a circle like you're doing the boomerang. You're going out and up, I think, and then coming back and down back to your original spot. So I don't hold too much faith that I'm going to be able to do this. All right, well, let me get lined up here. Let me look straight forward at the statue. I'm going to get closer to it. Actually, it's not even on the statue. There was a bird or something that just flew by. Oh, what is that, a bug or a bird? Anyway, let's start out with, I guess, back, and we'll start out with a circle. I'll start out with back, and then I'll raise it up. And I don't think that there's any way I'm going to find that point again. All right, so this is looking pretty cool. I mean, it's not necessarily a boomerang, but it's something close to it. And now I'm going to change from that. I'm going to go forward and down. And maybe we'll get in the same position that we were at whenever we took off. That's still a pretty cool looking shot. Does it look like a boomerang to you guys? It kind of does, doesn't it? I mean, it's not perfect, but it's definitely not as bad as I thought it was going to be. And we're almost to where we were at when we started. That was actually pretty cool. I kind of surprised myself. All right, well, one last thing that I do want to try since we're here. I want to get back around to the front. I want to use this as, I'm going to have to do an asteroid with the quickshot. So I've never really done an asteroid except for the other day when Jeff Nozar was here and he showed me how to do it. So you go to this banner and go down to quick shots, and I'm going to scroll all the way down to the bottom. I guess this asteroid is new because I never even really knew it was there. But I'm going to use this. Whoops. I'm going to use this as my subject, and I'm going to hit start. And then once this is over, we'll find the recording that it makes because it stitches it all together for you. It goes up there, takes a bunch of pictures. And I mean, it's a long process, but once it's finished, it's a really cool effect. So he's going up, finding his spot where he's going to start taking all these pictures. And I mean, I say it's a long time, but it's maybe just a couple of minutes at the most. But stitching it together would take me probably weeks. But the controller does it for you, so that's pretty neat. Now he's starting his pictures. He's getting his, it's like a sphere, I think, almost. Now, last time that I tried a sphere effect, I screwed that up, of course, as you guys all know. But he does like a whole 360 view here where he stitches it all together into like a big globe. So whenever the video is stitched together, it looks like the drone is going up in the air and then pretty much going into outer space. Hence, why it's called asteroid. All right, so we're almost done, or almost finished. We're at 97%. It's taking just a few more pictures. I don't think it processes it until it comes back, until it finishes the return. So you can't really interrupt this until it's finished. because if you interrupt it, you might be interrupting the process method or process time or whatever it's called. So he still has the statue in his sights. It says returning still, and looks like we're finished. So I'm going to go over here to, where do I go, to the play? I think I can do that here while he's still setting up in the air. And then up here, it's going to load. Right there it is. It says 13 seconds. So let's play this and see how cool this looks. Guys, what'd you think of that? I know I'm still a horrible drone pilot, but that was pretty cool. Let me hit that arrow back so we can get back to the flight screen. I'm gonna get Dwight landed. We'll have ourselves a little bit of a conclusion. But guys, this was fun. Marcus, thanks for the idea, buddy. That was cool. Actually, let's end this flight with the return to home and precision landing test. So let me go back over here to the video so I can get this on film. And I'm gonna hit record. And I'm gonna fly out this way, pull the gimbal up, and we're just gonna fly out a couple hundred feet. And we'll do a little quick return, whoops, I hit another button. We'll do a quick return to home test and a precision landing. And then we'll call this test a wrap. All right, so we're out a couple hundred feet. I'm just gonna stay at this height right here, and I'm gonna hit return to home. And I think we're gonna be done. Now he should really fly back pretty low. I don't think he's gonna raise up much higher than he is now. But he's, what is he, 40 feet up? He's raising up a little bit, maybe going up to 50 feet. But he's coming in hot. And I'll go ahead and shoot over to the GoPro now so you guys can see how cool he is when he flies. But he does move around a lot. He seems to be affected by the wind quite a bit, and there's really no wind. I don't even know if he's in the GoPro view. So if he's not in the GoPro view, we'll just go back to the, whoa, look how off he is. Oh, he's fixing himself. Yeah, he did. He was off of the truck there by like 4 or 5 feet, it looked like. So now we'll go to the GoPro and we'll watch him land and see how perfectly in the middle of that landing pad he is. You guys might see something weird as far as what's underneath that tonneau cover, but look at that, he's right in the middle of that landing pad. Good deal. Do you guys see that little hump right there? Let me show you what that is. Remember when I told you that we bought a ladder because we had an issue with our slide topper? There's the ladder. And it likes to push up against that tonneau cover. So I need to pull that back so it's not doing that. Now Marcus, I can't thank you enough for bringing this possibility to my attention. I never in a million years would have dreamed that Kevin Roberts would be able to put this drone up and kind of duplicate these quick shots. But I'm telling you what, it wasn't as difficult as I thought. Now it didn't look perfect. I know that I still am a horrible drone pilot, but it shows that there's a workaround. So if I can do it, you guys can do it, right? Dwight, you are one amazing drone. How in the world is DJI going to improve on the DJI Mini 4 Pro? That Mini 5 Pro is going to be something. Are you guys going to get one? Try to talk Christy into let me get one of those too. All right, guys, as always, I want to thank you for watching the video. Hope you enjoyed it. Have a great week. God bless. Well, that would have been a pretty cool point of interest too. Maybe we'll be back one day.